Hello and welcome back to Pounds Around the Scene Surveyed. This time I've gone from Paris to Nice and I'll be rating my time in Nice. And I'll be continuing on until I complete the places I've been to already. And also I'll only be doing places I've stayed in overnight. And first up is the hygiene in Nice. And as you saw when I was in Nice, the hotel was fairly clean. The hotel was good for the money. I did 3 nights for about £99, and the clean around the city and the town centre. The only thing that was a bit dirty was the during the night there was cans and cigarettes everywhere and shiz all over the beach during the night. So for hygiene, I'm gonna have to give hygiene a 6. Next up is food, and the food in Nice. I had a KFC, and it's also the last time I had a McDonald's, as in the McDonald's burger, and that was the last time I had a McDonald's burger. And in terms of the actual French food, I had a chocolate eclair from the bakery. That was pretty nice, but when I was looking around the restaurants to go into more of a French restaurant, they're all booked. So for food, I'm going to have to go with the KFC was nice. The McDonald's was pretty disgusting, I think. Even though they had a nice cakey area, it looked nice, but when you actually ate it, it was like cardboard. So very deceiving, the stuff in McDonald's. So for food, I'm going to give a 6 for the eclair and the KFC. I also had a nice mixed doner kebab there on the beach as well, so definitely a 6. Next up, it's plague, and I had problems with different sectors of the plague involving the law, the busyness, and a few hygiene issues during the night. So let's start with the law. I was troubled by the law when they gave me a fine of €60, and this is the first time I've ever had this problem, considering I've travelled all the other places since. It was the only time that the law and the public transport people were actively looking and targeting people that don't know what they're doing as much, or the newbies, and they really targeted the foreign speakers. So that was to my demise. And then the busyness of the place, where I couldn't get into any of these posh restaurants at all, and I was just left to all these bang average fast food places, even though the KFC was nice, the Burger King was fine, and the McDonald's was, this is a deceiving piece of crap. But there you go. And then during the night, there was, as I said, beer cans, cigarettes, just junk and debris all over the beach during the night, and also when you're walking around during the night there, every single time you walk past a bus stop or a shop entrance, it just stunk like piss. So yeah, for the people and all the problems they gave, even though there wasn't that many people around at some areas, like the football stadium was pretty empty around it, I'm going to have to give the plague a 5 for the problems they've caused in these. And next up on Pounds Round Scene Surveys is transport. And as I also just said and mentioned about the plague, they were after you, trying to get every penny out of you. So the transport, even though it was very easy to get to places, and the buses and the tram, I got to the destinations, find the airport on time, to the hotel on time and stuff. So that part of the transport was good, but the nuisance of it all, I'm gonna have to give the transport a 7. Next up is Dangerous. Did I ever feel in danger in Nice? Well, if that discussion I had with them went south, and you know what coppers are like these days, we're a bit do-da-dally, the law these days, aren't they, with their secret fantasies. So, and obviously I would have been at a disadvantage I would have been outnumbered in that situation. So, dangers in that aspect. So I reckon, as long as you keep yourself to yourself and a low profile and don't try and mingle around too much. Dangerous. I'm going to give Dangerous a 4. And next up on Scene Surveys for my time in Nice is Sleep. And obviously I stayed at the hotel, and that's probably my best actual sleeping experiences for a while in a hotel since I've done all the travelling. And I did get a lot of sleep, and I was in a very low-key area with not a lot of going around. So I'm going to give Sleep an 8. The last 2 sections now. Activities and places in Nice. So the football stadium was shut, so that's a very poor start. The beach, the tide is a bit weird over there, and sometimes the beach is really tight against the wall, or it's right out, the tide's right out, and there's a long stretch of pebbles. But when I was there, it was all very close up to the wall, and you're very close to the water all the time when I was there. So the beach wasn't very good during that time I was there, even though it was very nice walking along the side of it. But there was a casino there, so that's another save. There was a casino, had a kebab, the Lidl was nice. That's about it. So for activities and places, so a few things may have saved it from getting a pretty dreadful score. I'm going to give it a 4. And the last one is personal taste. Did I enjoy it? Could I live in Nice? Were they personal interests and things I liked? Well, it's a place I really should like. A beach, clean water, nice streets, a nice high terrain at the back. On a longer trip, I'd probably venture out down there or piss off down to Monaco. But it's the plague, that's the problem. They're just, I don't know, they're just very in the way sort of thing. But it is a place I could live, but as long as I sort of get my way down there, which is probably not going to happen. So for personal taste, I'm going to give a 6. Let's add these scores up and see how Nice fared. Surely it's got to be better than Paris. A score of 46 points. It was alright.